Welcome back everyone to 10 Minutes with Miss Campos. I'm so glad you're joining me today. In this week's lessons, we focused on verb tense agreement. And in today's lesson, we will learn how these verbs can change through different parts of speech. Yes, they can change. It's all in the spelling and in the ending. Let's take a look at this fun lesson as we play with the different parts of speech. We talked about a verb, which is something that we can do. We can notify, encourage, and we can inform. After I notify someone, make a notification. This verb is now changed to what we call a noun. To notify is something I can do. A notification is a thing. Encourage, I can do. An encouragement is a thing. I gave someone an encouragement. I gave someone something. To inform is a verb. I can inform someone and give that someone information. Again, these are examples of a thing. What happens if I take the verb inform, gave someone information? Now that can make me informative, and this we call an adjective. An adjective describes someone or something. A verb is something that we can do. Always ask yourself, can I do this? If yes, that is a verb. We mentioned that a noun is a place, a thing, or a person. And an adjective. Can this verb describe someone or something? If yes, then you know it is an adjective. And if you notice the little clue, the word adjective itself ends in IVE. So let's start with a verb. I can act. The noun would be action. Adjective is to describe someone or something. You can say active. Example is I can create. I made a creation. ION or TION gives you a clue. And I am someone that is creative. And notice the IVE at the end, and the IVE tells you it is an adjective. Let's try another one. I can consider something. Make a consideration. I am being, to describe myself, considerate. So this changed a little bit. Ended in ATE instead of IVE. Consideration still has TION at the end to make it a noun. So let's take a look at some differences in the ending for words that are adjectives and for words that are noun. And again, we will review the verbs to help us off. The first verb is impress. I can impress someone. Impression, ION for a noun. And to describe someone that can impress, you can say, he or she was impressive. So I ended in IVE as an adjective. Another word is include. Inclusion, ION again. And to use include as an adjective, I would say inclusive. Very similar to impressive. I can admire. As a noun, I would say admiration. Adjective, I would say admirable. Someone or something is admirable. So it ends in an ABL. I can achieve. A great achievement. Grades, if I were to describe him, I would say they were achievable. I can add the ABL. Let's take a look closely at the way these words end and how they are spelled a little bit different when turning from a verb to a noun. I can injure my knee. As a noun, I would say I made an injury. So the verb ends in an E And for now, I just change it into a Y. Another example that follows the same pattern is the word inquire. The verb ends in an E. As a noun, you would say inquiry. Very good, ends in a Y. Here is another example that does not follow this particular pattern. Take a look at what happens. I can heal. Noun. I would say I have health. So from heal, added TH, and now is a noun, is a thing. Someone can have this, health. And then to make it an adjective, I would say that that person or I am healthy. It ends in a Y this time. All we added to the noun was an Y. Another variation. And health rhymes with the word wealth. And then we can call someone wealthy as an adjective to describe them. But then how would we say wealth as a verb? Not really a verb for wealth. We cannot say wheel. Not all the words in the English language you can turn from a verb to a noun to an adjective, like in the examples I showed you before. So keep that in mind. So I will leave you with these words for practice. Take a look closely at the different variations of these words. What I'd like you to first do is to pick out the verbs first, then the adjectives, and then the nouns. Based on what we learned today, there are clues on how a word is spelled that tells you if it's a noun, an adjective, or it is just a verb. You have the words popular, persuasive, interference, lead, movement, observe, permission, and security. Again, there are variations, so I'd like you to think about where are the verbs, where are the nouns, and where are the adjectives. So now that you've learned how to identify these parts of speech, I challenge you to take each of those words and change them to other parts of speech. It may not be easy, but you learned a few tips in this lesson to help you. Try your best and never stop improving as reader and writers, and stay tuned for our Day 5 review lesson that would include a game of this week's skills and strategies. See you next time.